from jzfitness.com. I don't have any sort of quick mini band workout, so I thought I'd put this together because I have somebody who requested it, and it's just easier to see me do it and talk about it versus going through YouTube and finding other trainers who may not even give the correct advice. So here we are. I'm going to put you through a series of a bunch of exercises that you're going to superset back and forth. I'm all about compound movements. If you have dumbbells, that's going to add to the load. It's going to make your workout much more challenging. But first, make sure you have these mini bands. Mini bands are like this, they're like slingshots. Boom! Okay, they're not resistance bands, they're like a circle. Okay, you see that? Peekaboo! So with that said, if you don't have them, go to Amazon, look up mini bands. There's lots of different brands out there. So please get them. Perform Better has some, and there's other brands out there. But there's going to be different weights. So this one is light, there's medium and heavy. Some of them have several weights. So we're going to start right now. But before we start, what I love about mini bands, which I think is really important, is it really gets the accessory muscles activated. So this is a really good supplement if you wanted to actually add machinery or other external load, such as cable work, dumbbells, and stuff of that sort. So let's dive in. Let's start with our legs. Okay, you're going to take the mini band, you can sit on a chair, or if you have good balance, you can just stand up and gently bring the mini band to the calves. You don't want them on the knees at any point. You certainly don't want them on any joints for that matter. So we're going to start here on stage left. Feet are hip distance apart, all 10 toes facing forward. Again, if you have a dumbbell, you can hold the dumbbell at your chest. You're going to really sit low into an iso squat, navel toward the spine, hands at your heart, or you could use your hands to walk. But picture an imaginary line. Knees are facing straight like headlights. You're going to step a little wider than hip distance, and then slow return the left. So I'm going to the right first. I'm keeping in a nice iso squat. If you want to go lower, you can, your choice. But either way, I'm going to have my eyes facing the ground. You could do timed intervals, or you could actually count your repetitions. So if I'm doing timed intervals, with every step that I take, I really want to focus on driving my knees to face forward, all 10 toes facing forward. The tendency is to externally rotate. We do not want that. So feet are hip distance, walk. I am slightly pushing into that mini band as I step out, and notice there's tension on the mini bands at all times. Feel that in your glutes? Ooh, feel that burn, baby. Yeah. We're going to superset that one with leg abductions. So all 10 toes facing forward, hip distance apart. For this one, you're going to stand up tall, navel to the spine, lift up tall through the crown of your head, okay? You're going to face the toes forward and come back in. You don't want to lean over. You want to stand up real tall and then come back in. Internally rotate that abducted leg a little bit, and that's going to facilitate a nice straight leg, getting into that glute. You're going to feel it. There's also a stability component with that opposite leg. You want to breathe through this. You could do 10 to maybe 20 repetitions, or just like you did the last exercise, you could do a timed interval, and then of course switch sides. So because we're supersetting the legs, we can assume we're going to go to upper body after this. So I want you to fight through this. I want you to focus on the finish line, focus on really stabilizing through your core, through that bottom foot. Think on the bottom foot, big toe, small toe, heel. I reference that in all of my videos, especially for lower extremity. Okay, but you want to really stand up tall, you want to relax your shoulders and really focus on what you're targeting. That's the glutes. All right? So pick either reps or timed intervals. Let's bring it to the ground. You're going to take your mini band right on your forearm, not on your wrists, not on your elbows, and you're going to bring it to shoulder distance apart. A couple things you could do here. One thing you could do is a nice little chaturanga push-up with a little bit of tension on that mini band. Again, you could do timed intervals, or you could do repetitions. Another thing you can do here, superset and really burn out those shoulders and pecs, do in, out, out. Do your best to keep your hips neutral. You don't want to rotate those hips. Okay, you're only going a little wider than shoulder distance, eyes on the thumbs, lengthen through the neck, reps or time, your choice. You could bend your knees. That's going to take less torque off the back.
So belly tight, always stare at your thumbs. That's a very good tool, so that forces you to lengthen through the neck. But notice, I'm not rocking back and forth because there's a lot of core stability.
It's going to be a reverse fly. So take the mini band on your forearms. You can do a staggered stance or a single leg if you're working on balance. Palms facing in, snap the belly tight. Exhale the breath, bring it across your chest. Drive your elbows down toward the ground. Lift through the crown of your head. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hold. Get that scapular retraction. Snap the belly in. See what's going on in that foot. If you're all wobbly, unwobble yourself. Nice and slow on the way in. So it's really good to check what's going on with your spine and your hips when you're doing these exercises. It's very easy to hitch that top leg. So make sure everything is neutral. Maybe find a mirror that you can look into to look at your posture when you're doing these. When you pull out, the tendency is to arch that lower back. So pull it in so that you're really standing up tall and you're facilitating a neutral hip spine component so that you can keep everything neutral, tight, and activated. So of course we got to train the other leg, right? So if you did a staggered stance, you'll do a staggered stance on the other side. Or you could do a single leg, your choice. For this one, we're going to do flashers. So you're going to take your elbows into your rib cage, turn your palms to face the sky, neutral spine. I'm going to go a little bit of an angle this one, so you can see how tall I'm standing. And you're going to pull it out, and then nice and slow on the way in. So pull it out, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if this hurts your hands, you can always bring it to your wrists, but not on your wrists. I'm talking about more on your forearms. And then bring it out. This is going to get deep into that rotator cuff. It feels really good. These accessory muscles that really should be strong, because if we're lifting things in our life, kids, for example, groceries, that stuff adds up. And if your muscles, ligaments, and tendons do not get that kind of load on a regular basis in a controlled environment as such, then it increases our risk of injuries and tears when we go with real life situations. And now you're going to be working up a little sweat. Okay, let's get those arms. Everybody loves to train those arms. So first up, we're going to do a tricep press down. So take your opposite arm nice and strong, hug it into the rib cage, and you're going to take this hand and we're going to push down, because when you push down, you're contracting that opposite tricep. So for this, you could have your feet hip distance apart, slight bend in the knees, push it down with a nice straight wrist. Notice my left wrist is straight. I don't want to twist it or turn it or rotate it, okay? But this opposite arm is stabilizing. That's my anchor to provide resistance for my triceps on that left side. Okay, so push it down, hold, squeeze, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that elbow glued to the rib cage. Exhale the breath as you go down. Inhale on the return. Keep tension on the mini band the entire set. And then just take your time. And if this is not enough, of course, you can go heavier on your band. But reps or timed intervals, we don't want to overtrain, guys. So listen to your bodies. Make sure your posture and your form is perfect before you advance in the weights. And then, of course, naturally, we're going to switch sides. You will have a stronger side than the other. That's okay. If you end up doing less repetitions on one side, totally fine. You're not going to be lopsided. Okay, the goal is to build up the tissue on each side, and then eventually bilaterally, you should be completely balanced out. So on the other side of the tricep is the biceps. So you're going to take your arm on the bottom this time, and you're going to pull up, okay? So it's just reversing the direction. You're pulling up, and there's a little bit of rotation. So think of it as I'm coming from the bottom of the hand all the way across my body, and then back. So keep your shoulders down and back, soften the knees always, keep your eyes forward. Also keep tension on the mini bands. Very easy to kind of let it relax at the bottom. Keep tension, bring it up, hold, squeeze, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up, hold, squeeze, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, then do the other side. So again, timed intervals or repetitions. Decide which route you're going to go. It could be the same throughout the whole workout, or just be reps throughout the whole workout. You can do a combination of all of it. The number one goal when you lift or train your muscles is to get to a point of complete fatigue. That's what we're looking for, okay? So my arms are actually pretty sore after doing all of that. And as you notice, I just did a couple of repetitions. So that concludes the mini band workout. What you could do is do another set of all those exercises, and that really should be enough. Now remember, as you get more into these programs that I put out there on YouTube, you're going to feel like you're advancing. That is the best problem to have. So at that point, you should progress what you're doing. If you started with mini bands because this is your first at it with resistance, then now we progress to heavier load, such as dumbbells and even resistance bands. There's different types out there. Cable work is really good. And of course, body weight's great, but we definitely want to load the tissue for optimal aging of the muscle cells. So with that said, please like this video, share this video with somebody who could use something very simple. Tell them, hey, 30-second intervals, just bang through these exercises she gave you, put a timer on, listen to great music, watch a show, and just bang it out. 1, 2, 3. This shouldn't take you longer than 10 to 15 minutes. I suggest 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Even if you get twice a week, it's something. Okay, something is better than nothing. And remember, we're not marrying ourselves to any particular programs. This is where we are right now, and if this is what you need today, this is what you dive into until you progress. All right, so here's to a wonderful year ahead. If you have any questions, please private message me, but for now, like this video, share it, and share the wealth of good health to everybody you love and everybody you know.